Tomorrow, book readers, it is that time where I do my monthly wrap-up. I read a total of 6 books this month, which isn't bad, I guess, considering it was Christmas month and I hardly ever read anything in December. So I did better than I normally do because of you guys, probably, all pressure of reading stuff. Oh, but it's good because, you know, that keeps me motivated that way. Most of these, by the way, I don't have with me anymore, library books, yada yada, you know the drill. So I will try to show pictures on the screen somewhere up here, as usual. The first book I finished in December was The Artisan Soul by Erwin Raphael McManus, and I gave that 4 out of 5 stars. It was a fantastic nonfiction read. I highly recommend it if you're looking for some life application stuff. Good for the soul. Heart. Yeah. The second book I read in the month of December was Let It Snow by John Green, Maureen Johnson, and Lauren Miracle, and I also gave that 4 out of 5 stars. 4 out of 5 stars. I loved it so much. I had not read it before, and I loved how each story tied all together, and it was just a fun, light-hearted read, and it was like all geared around this huge snowstorm that overtook this town, and I love snow so much, so I could relate to the excitement that was happening. The next book I also gave 4 out of 5 stars, and it was The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson, which I finally got to read. I've been waiting for forever to read it. It did, I think, get overhyped in my brain since I've been anticipating it for so long. I didn't read it quick enough. I think it sort of let me down a little bit. It was a little slower paced than I wanted, but all in all, it was a great story, very interesting, pretty unique, and I love the different perspectives and mystery of it all, figuring out who people were and stuff, so that was great. The next book I finished, and I actually have with me, shocker of all things, was Wintertown by Stephen Emond, and I was thinking this would be a great read for December because it was like only took place around Christmas time and winter and snow and all that. Unfortunately, I had to only give it 3 out of 5 stars because it was pretty sad. Like, the characters, I don't know, I didn't get very attached to the characters. The story was sadder than I was expecting, and I wasn't really in the mood to read a book that was kind of about people with upsetting and tragic pasts, which kind of what happened in this book. I still enjoyed it overall. I still gave it 3 out of 5 stars, which still means I liked it. It just wasn't what I was expecting, wasn't what I was in the mood for the Christmas season. But all in all, it was a good book, and the favorite parts of this book for me was the grandma, so you know that's sort of an issue if you don't like the main characters as much as one of the side characters. The grandma in this book was fantastic, great character. And I also loved all the drawings. There was a different drawing at the beginning of each chapter, and there was some great comics and stuff like that in here as well that were pretty fun to read. So I enjoyed that. It all incorporated into the story, and so that was entertaining and very unique, but still just landed at 3 out of 5 stars for me. The next book I read happily, just in the nick of time for Christmas, was My True Love Gave to Me by a whole bunch of YA authors, but it was edited by Stephanie Perkins. I was very excited to read this book because I love Christmas, and it was a YA book about Christmas, and we hadn't seen that since Let It Snow was published, and so I was super excited to read it. Another one that I kind of got overhyped in my head, I think, and some of them were more New Year's and other holiday based than Christmas, but that was okay. Overall, I still really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars as well, and there was just some of them that were not what I was expecting and kind of weird, but overall, most of them I really enjoyed, and I'm definitely glad I read it for the holidays. And the last book I read this month so far was A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness, which I actually own. So there you go. I read a book I own. Aren't you guys proud? This was good. Like, I have never read a Patrick Ness book before, and the writing is just fantastic. I have no complaints against that. And the illustrations were creepy and like really, really cool illustrations in this. It almost felt like a graphic novel, even though there was a lot of text, but it had sort of that feeling to it as you were reading it. It was pretty quick read. I just finished it in a couple of days, which is why I'm sneaking it into the end of my wrap-up, because I didn't think I was going to have another book this month, but then I finished this one. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. Probably not the best choice I could have picked for December as well. It was kind of a sad story and kind of creepy. I wish I would have read this in October like I was originally intending to read when I picked it up, but oh well. You win some, you lose some. Still definitely a good read. I just wish I would have picked a different month to read it in so I didn't have to be sad in December at Christmas time, but still very good. Glad I read it, and looking forward to checking out some of Patrick Ness's other novels. Today is the 30th that I'm filming this, so we only have one more day of the year. We'll see if I can sneak in another book, but that's probably it that I'm going to finish for the month, perhaps, maybe, I don't know. Now is the time that I usually show you guys what I'm going to be reading in January of 2015, my TBR if you will, but besides the ones that I'm already currently reading, I've decided I'm going to go open book, pun there, so to speak, in my TBR selection. I'm going to go with whatever my mood takes me, and we'll see how that goes. I am limiting myself to no library books, just books off my shelf, which is, you know, I have plenty to choose from, so shouldn't be hard to pick something I'll be in the mood for, but I'll show you the ones I'm currently reading that I will be like hopefully finishing and or keep reading through it. The first one I'm still currently reading is Father, Son, and the Other One by Jeff Kennedy. This is the small group book that we're reading through. We've been on break the last 3 weeks because of the holidays, and so next Thursday we'll be starting back into it, reading a chapter a day, and we still have like over halfway to go, so we're not going to finish this until probably the end of February. So this will be currently reading for a couple more months probably. I think that's it for that video. I will be filming my next video very soon, so keep your eyes out for that. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the new year. Bye!